Hello, hello, folks. For anyone watching this in the future, this is a Gauntlet Hangouts game. Basically, means that this game is arranged through the Gauntlet, which is a community in the internet that gets together to talk about and play cool role-playing games. Find them at thegauntlet-rpg.com. Links be down below there. They do a blog, they do a monthly zine, and of course they have the Hangouts calendar where this game was arranged. This game is part 3 of Masks Apocalypse Sonata, taking Masks: A New Generation, which is a game about teenage superheroes trying to figure themselves out through the medium of punching people who probably deserved it, and taking it to the stars, basically. We're doing our ridiculous bullshit cosmic Jack Kirby, hey, we're going to cross over all our titles in the middle of the month and ruin everyone's plot lines to make them go through a big adventure that has nothing to do with their lives, and then things will go back to normal in the winter. That sort of crossover. That's what the Apocalypse Sonata is. Before we kind of get into the game proper, let's kind of introduce our players first. So it's all everyone get to know each other, that sort of thing. That's just just names and pronouns. That's all I'll ask. I've decided to not ask people for a thing to shout out because it catches them out every time. I've heard the feedback from other people. So yeah, let's start. Put order my screen here alphabetically. Start with yourself, Alan.
Hi there, I'm Alan R. He, him, and I've been playing with the Gauntlet since October, November time.
Fab. Up next, Kevin. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kevin. Pronouns he, him, and likewise, I've been with the Gauntlet about 5 or 6 months, I'd say. I don't know if that's about the same.
That's fantastic. And joining us for today, for a special guest appearance, Ludo, please introduce yourself.
I am Ludo. I go with any program pronouns, and I've been playing with the Gauntlet since the last year con.
Fab. Last but not the least. There we go. Pablo, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Pavel. I use he, him pronoun.
Fab. All right. So before we get into the game, as always, I want to go through the safety tools we have, because we want to be playing in a safe and comfortable environment. First off, we have our lines and veils. Our players here, their lines and veils are on the character keepers tab there. Lines are things that will not show up in the fiction at all, won't be crossed. We're not going to deal with that. It's just not going to happen. Veils are things that can happen in fiction, but we're not going to focus on it. They happen off screen. We can acknowledge it happens, but again, camera is not going to focus on that. We also have the X card, which basically, if we go into a scene that makes people uncomfortable for any reason, and they wish to not the game or where we're going to go into that direction, they can say they want to X card that, or they want to make the X sign on screen or in the chat. I might ask some questions of what's being X carded, but no one gets to question it if it's played. If it's played, we're going to respect that. We'll roll back and try something else. And finally, we have an open door policy here on this table. Basically, for any reason, anyone needs to step away, whether there's an emergency, or you're more tired than you thought, or you need a break at any time, like 5 or 10 minutes. Anyone can call that at any time. So keep that in mind. And then all right. So let's get back into this. Let's introduce our characters, and let's leave our newest character for last. And I will introduce them kind of like for the players to know, even though the characters probably won't meet them until we open up the session. So let's go through all the characters first by order of the character keeper. So Pavel, tell us about our outsider.
So I'm playing Kajda Lix. who goes by the hero name of Solara, because someone told them that on Earth, heroes could need hero names. So since they can operate the power of the sun, they decided to go with the name of Solara. They are the outsider. They are not from Earth. Aesthetically looking, if you can imagine Asari from Mass Effect, they're like bluish skin hair, kind of like a fancy sci-fi suit. And even though to humans they might appear to be a females, they themselves are like don't have like genders. What else can I say about my character? Oh yeah, I come with my cool spaceship, Space Cruiser Trident, on which we travel the galaxy, which can shift its size, and it so far has been plenty of fun. Yeah, I guess I'm just looking if there's anything else. Yeah, seems cool. Everything about Solara.
Nice. Yeah, that space cruiser is ridiculous. I will point out, yeah, you rolled your belonging to worlds move beforehand, and I don't think those hold got used. So I'm gonna say you still have that 3 hold because you rolled a 10. Doesn't mean you get to talk. I mean, there's stuff happening in your your home planet clearly, but that doesn't mean there aren't other Zenovians out there that you can get help from. But yeah, you still have that 3 hold. All right, so up next we go from our outsider to our harbinger. Kevin, tell us about Paradox 3.
Paradox 3 is a harbinger. He comes from the future. He is unusual looking. He sort of looks like a Borg. He's got these high-tech implants attached all over. He's completely devoid of color. He's just grayscale, black and white. And he's sent here to stop a terrible event in the future that will result in a colorless world. So, in last session, he learned not only that Kybalion is a traitor, but also that Freak will wind up being a martyr.
So poor Freak hasn't had enough to deal with. For your mechanics thing, make sure bump up that memory score. You have 2 names. That goes up to a maximum of 3.
Yeah, I think it's up to 1 now. It starts at
-1.
It
went from -1 to 0 to 1. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry. That's all right. Cool. New have a piece of the Sonata as well. Only person I think in this group, barring our new. Oh wait, Nova doesn't have a piece of Sonata. So that's about me. So skip over our newest character. We'll leave them for last. But let's talk about our transform / doom / would-be drummer. Alan, tell us about Freak and how he's been doing.
Yes, well, Michael Manners was a mild-mannered British schoolboy until the industrial accident that killed his mother converted him into a conscious nano-swarm with the personality of Michael Manners, only with a deal more anger. When that anger displays itself, the British schoolboy that he's managed to shape from his nanites turns into an 8-foot-high spiky troll called Freak. And through a series of adventures that I simply won't bore you with, Freak has become convinced that he is doomed, and that the apocalypse in the Apocalypse Sonata is him, despite the fact that Paradox has told him that he's going to be heroic. I think he knows he's going to be a martyr. And now we know there's going to be a terrible event in the future, and he thinks he is that terrible event in the future, while still a teenager at heart. May live in interesting times.
Yeah, poor Freak. All right, let's meet our new character then. So I'd be very surprised if anyone's been watching this since the start, but people remember Ludo was here before as Senia Svetnova Dread, or Casey Dread to our friends. But that was a scion who was trying to get rid of her influence of her dread mother slash clonee, the person she was cloned from. That was someone trying to get rid of that influence back on Earth. We're dealing with a different person this time, Ludo. Introduce us to our soldier then.
So I'll be playing a soldier, Xenia Beta 77, that goes by the code name Bulwark 77, and they are one of the few clones of the Beta batch that are allowed to train in the mystical arts, and they are the officer assigned to monitoring and answering to interdimensional threats that might threaten the glorious nation of old Savonia Dread.
God. All right, let's kind of just go through your backstory so people are good at. Yeah, I'll ask you questions here. This is interesting because the soldier playbook is very, like, in the text, very Aegis defined. But here, obviously, Aegis. But they might have had a presence in the stars, but they're not in this dimension anyway. So, all right, let's ask your questions. People have a better knowledge of you. So, you mentioned kind of briefly, but like, what tragedy or disaster led to you gaining your abilities?
So there was some kind of mystical or dimensional incursion that destroyed her entire clone batch, and she was an unlikely survivor. And after that, she developed increases stamina and superhuman abilities, even more than the template, and also an uncontrolled magic talent, which led for her to be assigned to actually get an exception for training.
What inspired you to, like, officially join Svetnova Dread?
So Xenia 77 was fascinating about this incident, and if something outside this dimension made her special. So she offered herself to the very undesirable position as officer monitoring and answering to interdimensional threats, because most of the alpha clones, they are very dedicated to answering to the superpower threats that have destroyed this dimension. So nobody minds that the inferior clones get the inferior job.
Just straight up disposable. But clearly, Sania believes in Svetnova Dread. So what did they think the Svetnova Dread can do for the world that no one else can?
She believes that only Savannah Dread can save their people. They consider this world doomed, and it's only filled with pockets of tyranny, and there's little about the societies and culture of this world, and whatever plans to find a new home depend entirely on Savannah Dread. So she is willing to dedicate herself to fully protect her people.
Patriot. Of course. Who outside of Svetnova Dread and the team kind of connects you to the civilian world? Like, do you even have, like, a connection to anything that isn't war or this hellscape dimension?
Actually, she is, because part of what destroyed the civilization is that superpowers are much more common and unrestrained. So of course, dimensional powers are also common, and even if there is a ban on those, one of the few things that the few feudal heroes agree on, uh, she managed to contact a lot of smugglers and would-be travelers, and she managed to give them protection in exchanging for them becoming an early signaling system to whatever might be threatening them. And on the process, they become kind of, some of them became more than collaborators and also allies.
Man, this is really making me want to reskin Scum and Villainy to play in this universe. Anyway, that's a different thing. And so finally, why do you care about this sorry lot of teenagers? They're not your team. Like,
So officially, she has to care because they are a protective interdimensional threat. But considering what just arrived on her dimension, she sees more as not a coincidence, and they are probably unlikely allies.
all right, so we're not going to do relationships and influence for you because this is going to be the first time you're meeting this team. So before we get to that, let's cut back to the team first. So our group of heroes are on the Star Cruiser Trident. They've gotten out the Universalis festival. I think the band Freak. I'll go to Freak first. Freak, how are you feeling having performed in front of what was probably like millions or probably billions of different alien species?
Well, given that I was high on mains current for a lot of it, I'm feeling great. I think it was the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me, and I, you know, that this is worth the price of admission to this trip. Nothing else could top that. But at some point, you know, I will start feeling hopeless again.
Yeah, I think in the ship, the other band members were kind of like they want to like share cans with you, but obviously you're a teenager, so and they probably asked Solara if there are any cans even on the ship, which no, there probably isn't. I don't think Solara would keep alcohol here, would she?
Like, what do you mean by cans?
Oh, sorry, it's a British Irish thing. Cans of
No,
beer.
it's in character question.
Oh, okay. I think Terry, the guy who asked you for, just I know people don't like Heineken, but it's cheap and it's crap and it makes you feel good. You ever had beer? Just.
No, no, I did not. But maybe my ship has managed to scan the product. You can ask this dispenser in the wall that produces the food. It definitely has pizza and French fries because those I love. I'm not sure if it scanned the cans. I don't know. Hey, computer, please produce can of what was it? Heineken. Heineken.
Yeah. I think. Oh God, I don't even want to know what the consequence of that.
The ship does have powerful weaponry, doesn't it? So it's not unreasonable that a can of special brew might appear.
Yeah, I think it's a generic can. It doesn't say what it is. It's just full of something. And Terry's like, yeah, all right, we're gonna deal with some mystery fluids tonight. Yo, Michael, and he kind of drags you up to this party.
And I'm very happy to offer him some direct current.
I think Joseph has gone off to talk to the drummer, Ash. They mentioned this for Leo and Freak. They've been texting each other now. They got each other's phone numbers. Mainly because Ash kind of trusts the most human person in this in this ship that isn't her bandmate. So they're having a private chat somewhere in a room. Paradox, how are you feeling? You kind of killed someone, and you have the Sonata in you. So.
Yeah, I guess I've got the MP3 file of the Sonata downloaded, so excited about that. But and I'm not sure if I did kill that person or not, because like as you pointed out, they kept sort of reforming and coming from different ways and such. So it was a necessary thing. We need it is imperative that we get all the pieces of the sonata, and they were trying to stop that.
All right. So like actually before I ask you like what you're doing, I ask Solara how they're feeling, given that okay, you were just helping out that guy, but like I think if you try to contact your home planet, there's just no signal. And that's been for a while.
Yeah. So I think we see Kashdalix sitting in the cockpit on the Palatcher, and it's like trying to like all the different ways to communicate with home. She has her VR set on and is just dialing. And having not being no success, I think she will go and ask Paradox. Like he has answers. Like maybe he knows. Was Zanov destroyed? No. Let's not go there. Let's go and ask Paradox.
Is that what you ask to? Is that what you say straight up to Paradox?
Yeah. I don't think it's like my opening line. It's more like, "Hey, Paradox. So, how does it feel not being able to call your people? Do you like miss them?"
One sec. I'm just seeing what conditions he's got marked. Guilty and insecure. All right. Well, yeah, that's an interesting question, Solara. I do feel, cut off from my people. I do feel a bit insecure right now, and I mean, it is wearing on me. I'm here with a task. I have an important job, and I just try to keep focused on that. But during this downtime, while we're traveling like this, it is a bit upsetting when I dwell on it. So I try to keep engaged in other things.
I'm like really scared. Like I thought I think I approached it as just another task from the school, and then I talked to this guy and he threatened Zanov, and now I can't call home. Like I feel like really bad that maybe I like shifted their direction to Zanov. Maybe they like sent one of their bigger ships to Zanov. I'm like, it feels bad. Like, should we go there or should we go and search for the next element of this sonata? Anyway, do you like have this? We do have this piece from this head, yes?
Oh yeah, I have the piece on me. We've got now 3 of the pieces on board your ship. Well, if the state of your homeland or home world is a concern, maybe that's something that we should look into. I haven't really told you this before, Solara, but where I come from in my time, you're like a really big deal, and I just want to let you know that I've admired you from afar for a long, long time before I even came back to this time.
Oh, so Zanov is fine in your time zone, in your timeline, yes?
I've got so many holes in this. Actually, this would probably be a good time to try to connect the dots. I'll try.
Okay.
I'll try to make the roll.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do that and then comfort and support, because that's clearly what you're doing.
Okay. So
connect the dots first and see if like how important Solara is.
That's a 7 plus 1 is an 8, because my memories are 8 now.
All right. So on a hit, you connect who they are now to who they are in the future. Choose the role that they fulfill in the future, and the GM will tell you about their future self. So you have monster, corruptor, architect, and leader.
I think
you
we're.
want to.
I was going to suggest leader.
Yeah, no, that was what I was thinking as well.
All right.
Okay. So in your monochrome future, it's 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 hard to think that there could be a world of color, world of just not of this singular conformity. But you and your resistance force, like whoever people are trying to resist, that outside of the singularity, there is a friend of humanity who's constantly working, constantly trying to break through, who wants to bring back, the color and the freedom to your world. She's a dear friend to you, and she's been there for a long, long time, and she's always she's always been there for like their most trying of times. And this is kind of like, and like, I think that's partially why like the resistance always had hope, because they know that they're not alone in this fight, even outside the galaxy. And most of the world doesn't believe that there are aliens outside there, not let alone friendly aliens. But the resistance knows that this hero, Kashta Leaks, otherwise known in history as Solara, is out there working to save y'all.
Very cool. Yeah, so he'll Paradox will obviously share all of that with Solara and relay the information, and raises up his memories. Now, the comfort and support, not something he's so great at. That's going to be plus mundane. Terrible there. Mundane. Oh, it's a 0. Okay, could be worse. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So
Right.
on a 10 plus, damn. On a hit, they hear you. So Solara, you have a choice. You can mark potential clear condition or shift your labels if you open up to them, as if you respond to what they're saying. And on the 10 plus, Paradox can add a team to the pool or clear conditions himself.
I think I'm in a clear condition. I'm in need of that. That worked out well.
Yeah. So yeah, Paradox tells you all of this. How do you respond, Solara?
Yeah, I think we see like Solara like immediately like cheer up and says, "Oh, thanks, Paradox. Thanks. You always it's like so good to have a friend who can like tell you that everything will be kind of okay in the future and not everything is so gray." So yeah, thanks. Thanks. And while we're on the topic, like great job back there. Like it was like a cool teamwork, you, me. I was like talking to him. He was focused on me. You did your job. It was like, yeah, like, teamwork.
I think that calls for a high five.
Oh, high five. Oh yeah, high five. I should definitely ask Michael what the high five means. Like it doesn't make sense. Like high five, like it doesn't make sense.
God damn it.
So yeah, I will. I want to have one condition mark. Like why not? It seems fun.
Okay.
But I will clear it. Yeah.
Okay.
It can always get marked again. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can get potential some other way. All right. So
would it be possible to, having had that touching scene, to cut to the party in the hold?
yeah. Okay.
Very, very briefly, because Michael is going to really crush the mood, because he's going to talk openly about the fact that actually he's entirely doomed, and being on the ship with him is really just heading for the center of the apocalypse. He just feels they ought to know. So I think we cut from that nice warm scene where everyone's really positive, and we go to and there's people sat around like this with cans going, oh.
Okay, so you just want to mark a Doom track, aren't you? You're
talking about I do to mark a Doom track. Thank you.
I think what's happened. What you tried to be emo, yes, but I think you're now band members because you're not part of this band, are not having any of it. They're being like, no, Michael, come on, you're a big, tall, spiky, fuck off dude. You can't be doomed, you know. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be great. You're a superhero, and you managed to learn Inagada Vida in 5 minutes. That's amazing. That's Terry going. He's waving the mystery can. It's half empty. The guy with the beard is being all like, I think he kind of improvised most of it. Shut up, Dwayne. It's fine. And the guy the video was most improvised anyway. No, you're great. You're fine. And I think this is where things kick off, because as soon as like when Paradox and Solara hit the high five, while Freak is kind of like trying to resist praise, the thing that you got to travel through dimensions, the what's the name of that thing again? The something folder. I had it written down. The space-time continuum folder. It's this cube. It's probably attached to the ship. It just starts flashing as it's kind of like, and you can see in the view screen, the combination of kind of like the ring you have to look for Sonata stuff and the cube is pulling you into this like suddenly in space. It's like this split, kind of like sucking you all in, and to you all, it's like, you know, it's like flashes of strobe lighting as you're kind of passing through this dimension, and you see Freak in front of you. Your band members just kind of fade and disappear as you're going through this dimension, and it feels like just for a split second you're going through all this like strobe lighting and static, and suddenly bang, everything's back to normal. Paradox and Solara, you just finished your high five, but Freak, you're all alone. And then kind of like suddenly in bursts Ash, the drummer. She's got pink hair, and she's like, Joseph just disappeared.
Oh, let's get up to the bridge. What's happened, guys?
All right, I'm gonna let Sania describe what they see. What does the dimension of the Dread Queen of Vortovia, what does Svetnova Dread look like? What's the first thing they see?
The first thing they see is the burning sky. It's burning in new colors that they cannot even describe. And below the burning sky, occasionally scorched by solar blasts, they see the ruins of the cities of the old world. And somewhere between blasted landscape, they see a few archaeologies that are protected by high-tech technology that seem to be battering the constant assault.
Yeah.
Assault of whom? So do we see like it's like a constant war over there, or like?
Imagine constant artillery fire, but 100 times there.
All right. So it's kind of cut from them at the bridge, seeing all this, to Sania Beta 77. What are you doing at this moment? Just before this breach in space and time enters your dimension. What are you up to? What do we see when we cut to you?
So I'm interrogating one of the smugglers. It's someone that is still not part of my group. I'm trying to recruit them because I know that they've been recently to a dimension that I don't have knowledge to. and they are not really exactly forthcoming. So I'm trying to elicit them to, come on, do you want me to call the other guys and tell you that you are violating the accords? Just tell me what you saw on the other side.
The thing is, Bulwark 77 is that on that other side where I came from, the accords don't mean shit. Like, it's worth more to me to keep mum. And I don't think there's anything in this hellscape that's going to be worth enough for me to spill the beans.
Well, sure, but you seem to be very confident that you can return to your, well, let's call it home, without bringing anything with you. Do you know how popular nanite swarms are on this realm? Do you have an impression of the damage that just a few damage can inflict if you bring them back home?
Well, I'll give you at least a little tidbit. I don't plan on coming home anytime soon. Have you not heard what's happening around that sector? You think this place is the only world under attack by our dear dreadnought dude Ominus? He's over there where my home is, which is I think when the camera pans, you see that this person, who I realize is using they them pronouns. This person is a Zenovian. And they're saying, like I was done with home for a long time, but this is just a death knell. I don't know what tripped Ominus's interest in my place, but he's there now. So I'm not going back anytime soon. Frankly, whatever you do, miss, not the Dread Queen, whenever you got planned, it's paradise compared to where I was or where I'm going.
So she opens a folder on her desk that says Ominus, and she starts adding new entries. That's the 1976 front. This has opened now. Well, whatever they say about divide and conquer does not seem to stop him.
No, because he has so much. He can afford to divide and conquer. Like, his enforcers alone, they're worth tens of armies. Frankly, the most we can all do is just run. And as far as I've seen of this place, Miss Bulwark, it's not worth holding on to. Why don't you just run?
In due time, we'll leave this dimension once it's considered safe to. Once we have a plan. Now, you said something about subordinates. What do you know about them?
I think just as the Zenovian's about to say it, you hear communicate to you, Sania. It's one of your subordinates. I don't have a name for them yet, but they're just saying like, Bulwark 77. We've detected an interdimensional breach over at Sector X. It's on the Zenovian craft that's just broken through the dimensional walls.
Oh, it seems your friends came for you. Prepare a containment shuttle. We need to make sure that nobody captures them before.
All right, so let's cut back to the other team. Yeah, so you've seen all this. You've seen kind of those armies and the ecologies there. You've seen the ruins in the distance. See the burning skies. I'm gonna add another detail, just a little bit. I think in those burning skies, you see just this hole, kind of like breaking through the air. It's like cracks in reality, and poking out of this hole is like this big black cylinder. It's like just poked through the dimensional wall. Ash sees all this, and she's like, where are we?
Well, hard to say. Michael, do you know this place?
I think it started. It's because you've brought me here. It started. The fuse is burning.
Well, obviously the sky has been burning before we got here. I mean, my ship's engine wouldn't ignite the entire sky. At least I hope it wouldn't. I mean, let's ask. Maybe there's someone alive, and I would just open the comms, all frequencies, and it's like, hello, this is Zenovian Space Cruiser Trident. Is there anyone reading me? Hello.
You hear a familiar voice pipe through. It's trying to remember how their voice went. Oh yeah, very slimy and superstitious. So you hear this voice just go, "Oh, is that my Zenovian friend? I didn't expect to see you here so soon."
Wait, aren't you the guy who just blow the brains off in this big skull of a monster?
Oh, come on. If you think it's that easy to kill a lieutenant of Ominus, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie down and just die to you teenagers. No, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Oh, you nutcrack! Now that we tracked you here, we are coming to finish the job. And then turn off the com. Are we here to Are you guys? Do you guys think we are here to kick his ass, or? Oh, is there something on the? And I'm pointing at the ring that Paradox still has.
Paradox says, "Yeah, this ring is going crazy. That cube must have brought us here. I'm not. Maybe it could be that is it Victalia?
Victalia.
If that's Victalia, perhaps Victalia's got the other piece. But there's a piece of the Sonata here."
Can I trigger a dark vision, please?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Mark your doom track to have a vision about the situation at hand. After the vision, ask the GM a question. They will answer it honestly. I want to have a vision of what's happening on that great black cylinder.
Okay. All right. I think the vision you have is I guess in the comics or in the TV show, this would be the very blatant we're just gonna exposition what this thing is, because the vision you have is Victalia, the spider, the shadow, the creepy guy. To just describe for Ludo, Victalia is wearing a very incongruous Victorian suit with spats, and he's got gloves. His face is this weird bone white mask, but also as articulate as any human face. And he has really slick back gelled hair. It's on a ponytail. It's all very weird. And when the vision you have, Freak, is that this device that he's created, because what's going to happen is what's happening is he is telling this to a figure you recognize, Freak. It's the 10-foot tall spiky monster you fought at the first session, and he's saying, well, I guess I can tell you this because it's not going to go back to your other self or time travel, because it made sense to me. It's always so weird. But I doubt you can appreciate what this super massively complicated device is doing. But let me tell you, punching through dimensions isn't easy, especially when you want to make a hole big enough that it can destabilize this entire place. So it'll be sucked out through this hole. But I did it. I built that machine. Say hello to this galaxy eater. And he's kind of like, this thing will make sure that we have enough fuel torn out from this silly little dimension. We'll have enough fuel for Ominus, for his dealings, and for his little invasion that he's doing at the moment. And then he turns to you, Freak. You seeing this. And he's like, well, why am I keeping this vision going between you and me, Mr. Michael Manners? You know your little doom, your little apocalypse that you're going to set off? I can tell you all about it. You know, all you have to do is just... And I can tell you, what's going to happen. And you can do whatever you want with that information. I just want a piece of the Sonata. Just one. Just one. And you can choose. It could be yours. It could be your time traveler friends, your drummer friends, or even the piece here, whatever. Give me a piece of that Sonata, and I'll explain everything, because I fucking love explaining things clearly. And the vision fades. And I think as your vision fades, I think, Sania, that's when you can come in. And in your, command shuttle, containment shuttle? How are you coming in?
So it looks a bit like the X-Men, the 90s cartoon plane, but it has an array of drones around it, and before it stops mid-air, the drones create a shield around the area, making sure that nobody can leave the area without breaking through. As that happens, I hail them.
Does Michael recognize the voice?
It's up to you.
I mean, he can recognize the technology.
I'm just thinking, does this sound like Casey?
Yeah, no, you're being hailed. That doesn't mean that she's spoken yet. She's calling you at the moment. Solara, you were gonna say something?
I would just like go in the comments and say, this is space cruiser Trident. State your intentions, or we will open fire. This place is hostile enough.
You are invading sovereign territory of Savannah. Surrender yourselves and come to be processed.
We are not here to invade. Live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. We are peaceful race who came here to seek help. We are not the invaders. Are you with this guy? This Vectalia dude? Are you with them?
I repeat, you are invading Sonata space. It's not safe for you to remain outside of containment.
Does Michael recognize the voice?
I guess so.
Casey, is that you?
I'm sorry. Who is talking?
It's Michael. It's Michael. Casey, what are you doing here?
I'm afraid I don't know who you are talking about.
It's Michael from school.
With this school, and you can hear Rambles on the side. It's an obsolete teaching system. Oh, I see. Michael from school.
Yes.
Please come to our city.
And I'll turn to the rest of the crew and say, it's fine. It's Casey. It's an old friend of mine.
What? Ash is like, old friend?
Well, from last semester.
Like from kindergarten or what?
No, we did one term of high school together.
Michael, I'm afraid that seems very unlikely. I don't think that guy was really recognizing you. This has to be a trap. We need to find out if this person is in league with the Victalia or not.
How do you suppose we do that? Should we open fire at them, or
No,
I tried asking politely. Didn't work.
Freak is angry still at the moment. He still has angry marked. And so he will punch the weapons console and break something important.
Jesus Christ. Wow. You never unmark angry, do you?
Not for long, but
Okay.
momentarily, the release is really satisfying.
All right, I think. How do I want to do this? You're reshaping your environment, I guess. God.
Unleash my powers?
Yeah, you're punching something. You're punching something that can't punch back.
So that's roll plus freak, isn't it?
Yeah. Fitting.
That is 7, 8, 9.
Oh God. All right, so mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Right, I've unmarked angry.
But yeah, you make a choice. Do you want to mark a condition, or I'll tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary?
Sorry, I thought I succeeded at unleash my powers.
Yes, you did. Yes, but you got a 7 to 9.
Oh, I see. Then strangely, I'm still friggin' angry.
What the? So that accomplished literally nothing. You're just back to where you were, except you've broken up weapons console.
No. I'll mark guilty instead.
Okay, all right, that makes that.
Because I realize what I've done when I break the weapons console.
All right, Ash is again looking at you with that. You know how you terrified her first time you met? Yeah, she's standing back from you now, like, whoa. First you take my spot, and now you're acting like an Egypt.
I think this is the rock and roll lifestyle.
Jesus Christ, that's Solara. Freak just broke your weapon system. How are you feeling?
Oh, like, why would you do that? Like,
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to break it. I just wanted to stop you using it. I'm really sorry.
And how do you suggest we go about this Vectalia now?
But you were going to shoot at Casey. I didn't want you to shoot at Casey. She's the only friend I have in the world.
And we are what to you?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was really insensitive. You're really important to me too. You know, we've been through a lot in such a little time. And Paradox is the only person who's given me any hope in the world. because he says I'm going to be a hero one day.
Okay.
Paradox, I want to hug you.
Maybe rather soon.
And I will. I want to hug Paradox.
Uh-oh. Paradox looks a little bit worried, but considering what happens when Freak gets angry, he feels obligated to return the hug.
And so while I'm hugging him, I'm saying is in whatever auditory receptor is nearest to me. You're just really important, and you got the piece of the sonata back at the concert. You are the most important part of this team because you're the core of it. You're the one who is always on point. I'm so sorry if this has hurt you. I didn't mean to.
That sounds like a comforter support.
Yeah, that's the intention. But the nice thing is
Very
that
weird
now
comfort.
I finished by saying, I really wish I could be like you. Because when I say that, when I comfort and support someone, I really
Roll plus
envy
freak.
all that stuff about him. I roll plus freak instead of mundane, which, trust me, is a good thing. That's 9.
All right. So on the 9, they hear you. So they paradox. You can either mark potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up to whatever the hell Freak's doing.
All right, so yeah, I'll open up and say, "Wow, Freak, this is news to me. That's fascinating. I didn't realize that there was so much depth to you. Like I said, I do know that you go on to become a very important part of this team, and there's a huge heroic moment coming up. But the fact that you feel that way about me is, I don't know what to say. But I think that's going to cause me to clear my guilty feeling. Woohoo! No condition. No.
Yeah, no conditions good. I'm just watching all this, and it's making like looking to you, Solara, as if like, what's happening? What's happening? Sania, these idiots have not responded. What do you do?
I guess I had time to observe the opposition before a fight. So first of all, I'm gonna lose before we get started, and then invade them.
Oh my god! Oh, okay, all right, okay, all right. When you have time, roll savior. Jesus Christ!
So
when I started to say, I didn't expect this to happen. I should have known better.
yes.
God damn it.
Okay, so I have 9, so I get 2 hold on a fight. Okay, so as I don't hear anything from them, I signal to the rest of my people, let's board them. Drop the shields and open the teleporter.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You are. Because Space Cruiser Trident is a shape-shifting ship. This is gonna be kind of a. I want you to roll like you're directly to directly engage, because I want to see like how well you can board the ship. You're gonna board it, but I'm gonna see like how well you do.
Does this count as me having no regard for my safety because I just teleported myself in?
Yeah. Yeah. What's so you just teleport into the bridge?
Okay, so 12.
Jesus. Okay, all right. Christ. This is All right, which move we doing? How do you get a 12?
It was directly engage a threat.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna say impress, surprise are fighting the opposition, and create an opportunity for your allies.
which is the folks surrounding the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sania 77. Sania Beta 77 has just teleported into the bridge of the ship. What's the scene that she sees? Does she see the two of y'all, like the Chuckle Brothers over there, hugging?
Yeah, I think so. I
I'm
think
still
so.
counting you responsible to fix this when we will have a chance.
And Ash is just like trying to like
Michael,
find-
like, fix.
So when we break the hug, is Bulwark there?
Yes.
Then I rush at her and hug her. Casey, it is you.
Stop that there, I'll shoot. And she starts charging energy blasts.
I genuinely think that Freak will just hug her.
Well, Freak remembers that she cannot shoot Captain Marvel's lasers, so
She looks a bit different, but she's dressed funny. But it's obviously Casey, maybe a year or two older.
Oh my god! For the two who weren't at the Prospect Academy stuff, this is exactly what's kind of happening. It's just like me, my face in my hands, just like, what's happening? What's
And if this was to count as a sacrifice, it would absolve my guilt. But that's by the by.
Yeah, you don't know you're sacrificing yourself. Yeah, okay. Paradox, your hug has been broken up. There's now this weird woman charging up laser blast at Freak's hugging. What do you do?
Yes, this new person on board shows up with a gun. I'm going to pierce the mask. Figure out what's up with this intruder.
All right, pierce the mask on a PC. That's really cool. All right, roll plus mundane.
Hmm.
Do you believe they'll shape the future? I don't think so. Do you?
Sorry, do I what?
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at your move. There's an option to roll plus savior with pierce the mask if you believe
Right.
they'll shape the
Oh.
future. But you
Yeah,
just
I
came on the weird dimension. Do you think?
I suspect because I think so because we're here to get this piece of the Sonata and this person's here trying to apparently to interfere. So yes, I think they are going to be a piece of the future. Can someone link the roll for the party? The what I have
yeah.
is looking strange. Doesn't look right.
All right. There we go.
There we go. All right. Ding ding. Reroll selected. So that's a 5 plus 3 makes it an 8.
All right. So you can ask Xenia or Ludo one question.
How could I get your character to put the gun down?
surrender and offer to voluntarily come with us back to Savannah Dread.
Interesting. Well, that's I see an intruder on board with a gun. I'll immediately announce we surrender. We will go with you. We will go with you. We surrender. Put the gun down, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna use one of my hold to escape any bindings to get free from Freak, and dropping the energy blasts. I say, I leak the com. Ship secured. Board the engines and take over. Then activate the tractor and carry us home. Bulwark out.
Oh yes, the band is back together.
Can you please restrain your companion?
Ash is like looks to Solara again. What's happening?
The band. What instrument does this soldier play?
It's a high school thing.
Okay. let's take a break. That was a lot. I have to process all this nonsense. Let's say 10 minutes. Let's come back at the half-hour mark. Cool. All right, BRB.
I don't know what you two feel, Leandro and Ludo, but I think that probably while we know that Freak is emotional and a bit of a volatile powder keg, he's not stupid. So at some point, there will need to be that, so you really aren't Casey moment?
I mean, I think it's going to be pretty obvious when he gets to the city and sees a bunch of cases.
Yeah, exactly. Point.
Yeah, okay. I want to kind of paint the scene a bit of this city. I guess I want to see. I want a detail from everyone about as they're kind of going through, as Sania Beta 77 is kind of taking you to, I guess, a place where y'all can talk. So while you're going through this ruined city, I kind of want to detail. Let's see, what sort of detail? Solara, what's a detail about this city tells you that this used to be a place of culture?
I think we go just next to like a ruined open theater, and this looks like someone somehow closely to those like ruined theaters in Greece or something, like a big arena, and just in ruin, and some things are burning, and maybe they're like small monuments of actors performing, so that we know that this used to be a theater or something like this.
Nice. Paradox 3. What's a detail about this city that tells you this regime is used to getting its way?
I want to say like the like sort of habitation blocks are in ruins and destroyed, and it's clear that somebody here goes to great extent to get what they need, and at the risk of many lives. There's signs of massive destruction, and this is it's a shocking thing. And Paradox 3 is he's sort of overwhelmed by the colors and such that are present, which are new to him as well as new to everybody. The strange burning sky, but the sorrow that he feels upon seeing these ruined homes and such, and what that must have meant is troubling to him.
Freak, what's a detail that this city isn't a human city? Not a city as you know it.
Because as we're led off the ship, I'm still wittering on about Casey, and then I look up, and this kind of landing platform is surrounded by exact copies of Casey, and suddenly the penny drops, and I look at Bulwark and say, "You're really not Casey, are you?" And I think that it is that this is just not normal. We are not in Kansas anymore.
And Sania, what's a detail about this city that you, let's see, that you wish to restore as soon as the war is over?
So the first time we entered the domains of the Dread Queen, there was this very weird holographic memorial with the names of all the dead of this nation, and with strange animatronics of children playing. And we see this scene, and what was a small plaza was a major concentric ring that has been completely leveled. And Besides, you see all the housing destroyed, all the centers of government and culture, the same enormous park now on real side, and where once the park was filled with life, it's filled with the graves of the dead.
Right. All right. So where do you take this group, which is including Ash, who is again not saying anything because he's not in Kansas as well. Also, Joseph's missing, and her band is missing. But yeah, Sania, where do you take this group?
So I take them to Bulwark's office, to the another interrogation room, and supposed to process all of them. And Bulwark turns to Freak. So you confused me with someone. Do I take that you are from Savonia in another dimension?
I think we've come from a dimension where people like you exist, but it's a very different place.
What do you mean, people like me?
Well, who look just like you. But it's a bit different because not everyone looks like you. Do you know what that thing is going to do? That black cylinder?
Yes. Tell me about the cylinder.
It's going to swallow this galaxy and the whole dimension.
I was afraid of that. But I'm drawing blanks on how to stop it. I have 2 plans and I don't like any of them.
You may not be Casey, but if there's anything I can do to help, I will. And I'd like
Casey.
Well, I'd like to give not Casey 77 influence over me, because whether or not she's Casey, there's an inbuilt sense of if she asked him to do something, I think he would do it.
Yeah, just a shout out for folks. Yeah, you can't just give influence, your influence to people. You can't just do that. So yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, so
So, if we help you with this thing, do you know a way how we can get back to our, I don't know, place, space, however you call it?
I think so. I mean, I can probably do it myself with enough time and study, but I know smugglers that can take you out. I can pull some strings and get you safely. Now, I need to know if somehow this thing can be appeased, if we can somehow convince them to leave. Otherwise, I would like to know more about any underlings that are too powerful for their own loyalties.
I don't know, Paradox. Can you like have your people try to reason with the Ominus or his goons? Have it ever succeeded?
as in
Paradox?
like asking like, oh, Paradox. Oh, sorry.
Paradox?
I'm sorry. Do I have any knowledge of
have your people
reasoning?
ever tried to reason with the Ominus and his goons? Have it ever succeeded?
Let's see. I don't have Ominous. I have. Let's see.
You can try and connect the dots to like Vectalia, maybe.
Okay, let's try that.
All right. Your memory's is good. Your memory's good.
Yeah, it's getting better. All right, so we'll re-roll, and we got. Wow. All right. So what do I? That's an 11, 12. That's off the top.
All right. Yeah, so on a hit, yeah, you get to choose a role, and on a 10 plus, you ask a follow-up question after I tell you about their future self. So for Victalia, the spider, the shadow, the many names. So there's monster, corruptor, or architect. He could fit in any one of those, to be honest.
Yeah, the obvious one I think would be monster.
Oh, all right.
And on a
Okay.
10 plus, okay, so on a hit that you connect, choose the role, and the GM will tell me about their future self. And on a 10 plus, I get a follow-up question. So tell me about the future Victalia. So yeah, what you see is you ask that, and Paradox 3 looks a little bit confused, and then he sort of gets lost in thought, and he starts flipping through those like virtual sort of tabs and computer screens that are appearing in front of him. He looks like he's looking for something, like he might have a little bit of a memory, and he's trying to double check. And what do I learn?
Um, oh, you get like a video clip, and the video clip says contact. It's just labeled contact, and it's a bunch of like science. It's like a bunch of scientists in like this fairly dingy, rundown like laboratory, and I think what you see is they're working on a device around this like a very familiar looking like MP3 player. I think it looks exactly like the one you have, and it's kind of shining, and you can tell there's a piece of this Sonata in it. And as they're kind of working on this device, suddenly in the video clip, because it's like a camera shot, you see like again reality sheer open as this portal kind of breaks through, and out steps Victalia, and he's all you dunderheads, you nincompoops, look what you're doing. You don't know what the hell you have there. Before the scientist could react, he just kind of snaps his fingers, and they all just suffer brain death immediately. And he's all, and he marches up to the device and just says, a piece of the key to the entire multiverse, and all you want to do is train the color of the world. And he looks at the camera, which is like looking at you, Paradox, and it's like, well, if you're watching this, it's very easy. Here's to you, Paradox. And he kind of twists the machine, and like, I think this video clip, there's a lot of like scientific raw data that's being processed, but it just looks like he's twisting machine. And also the weird thing about this video clip is that it's in color. It's like it's dark and dingy, and you know blue lights and whatever. But as soon as he twists the machine, this wave of gray starts kind of spreading from the machine, and then he puts it down on the room as it keeps spreading this wave of gray. He's not affected, and then he just kind of like bows to the camera, and it's like, well, hope that gives you all a head start. And he pops back to the portal.
All right. So on a 10 plus, I get to ask a follow-up question. Could we convince Victalia not to proceed down this pathway?
I think you can tell that Victalia's pursuing his own pathway, which is not necessarily Ominus's pathway. You can try. But good luck with that. But like, you muted yourself there, Kevin.
So in response, then I'm asked, could they be reasoned with? I'll reply back to Solara. Victalia does answer to Ominus, but it seems the evidence seems to support the fact that Vectalia has their own agenda, and we might indeed be able to put them against one another. It could happen. It's a good idea, Solara. You make a fine leader.
By the way, how do we call you, stranger? Do you have like your personal identification number, or I don't know? And I'm just like looking at Boulevard 77.
Bulwark 77 is my position in the Savnova government, but you can call me Xenia Beta 77 if it's more comfortable for you.
Okay, so yes, here we have the answer. You could theoretically reason with those things, but last time we encountered this, things didn't go well.
So you have encountered them before. Tell me, what are they seeking precisely?
And like Solara just like looks like she obviously knows something, but like and just like looking at Paradox, like I'm not sure what they are searching for.
Paradox will interrupt. Well, they're looking for pieces of the Sonata, and just like we are. It's our goal to keep them out of the hand of Ominus. I think Bulwark 77 that you could agree something so powerful should not fall into the hands of Ominus. Am I right?
Sonata? I mean, we have not have an orchestra in 30 years. Why will they will come here for the Sonata? This place, all we have is electronic music and vaporware. This is
Freak is just trying to rerun that dark vision monologue that he heard from the skull-headed guy. Did he get the impression the skull-headed guy was on that big black cylinder?
No, actually, it just like
Okay.
there. I think I'll re-describe the room. I think it's actually
let me, because what I thought I heard him say was, and there's a piece of a sonata here, and what I'm just trying to process is here, up there.
No, here in this dimension.
Okay.
And I think I'll re-describe the room. It's not in the cylinder. It's actually like a ruined throne room.
Okay.
With a bunch of like maybe consoles nearby that he set up. So he's somewhere in the ruins.
Because you told me what he would tell me, but that's not the question I want to ask. The question I want to ask is, how do we stop that? Because I again, stop me if I've got this wrong, but I think that cylinder is the Galaxy Eater.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have based on that vision is, how do we stop the Galaxy Eater?
From that vision, I think if you rerun back in your head, and Victalia is like, boasting about it. I think he was kind of like going over like these consoles he had set up near this throne room. I think you can probably tell that the Galaxy Eater's keyed to him. True that.
So if we could find him and that throne room, we could save this dimension. In theory, at least.
Yeah. Theory.
Well, I think it's time I shared that with the team, because I've not had really time to process that until now. I was so excited to meet not Casey.
I don't understand. Why don't we just give the Sonata, even if it's here?
Give it to Ominus? Or Vectalia? No, you don't understand. This is the Apocalypse Sonata. Individually, the pieces of the sonata are harmless enough, but when they are compiled into the Apocalypse Sonata, it's nearly limitless power. One can reshape the universe with this sort of power. It's bad, very bad. We cannot let Ominus get a hold of these things. We're specifically collecting these so they do not fall into the hands of Ominus.
With a mere click of his fingers, he could cause unknown degrees of harm across all the dimensions.
I don't understand. How do you know that you can reshape reality? How would you even know? But anyway, that's besides the point. My point is, if we want to turn monster against monster, all we have to do is to give one of the monsters something the other monsters really wants, and then we watch from the sidelines. I think it might be worth to give this one up.
Wait, Ash is still here. Wait. You want to give him you want to give him a piece of the sonata? I thought we were meant to like use it against them.
Wait, what? I don't think anyone should have such power, not even our queen.
So, well, what happens when you give him a piece then? I thought that's why we're traveling, is to not give it.
That makes him a target. Until he has a piece, he does not have to worry about protecting it. Now, he's playing defensive.
Are you saying that we could offer him a piece of the sonata as a way to get close to him and do him some harm, or what?
That could be a possibility. The other possibility is to give it to someone else that could actually put out a fight.
That's. I think Ash just looks really like tired and confused. Well, it's like this is all going above her head, and
Look around. This is the kind of choices that this world demands. It's the perfect dimension to come for this decision. It's really the sonata is tied to realities, as you say. It cannot be a coincidence that you have to make this decision in a reality where every breathing moment is a costly decision.
So we have to sacrifice something to win something.
I never learned about another way in my 2 years of life.
I think
I think she's
Paradox, you
right.
still have the ring. Oh god. Sorry.
I think she's right. I think that we should use a piece of the sonata that we have to get close to the skull-headed guy and then crush him and control the Galaxy Eater.
I'm going to offer a minor tweak to that plan, Freak. How about we find this ring? He pulls the ring up and shows this ring tells us that there is a piece of the sonata here. If we can get to that and then bring the Victalia to us to give the piece over, then we'll be further along on our path in both ways. We'll have the additional piece, and we can then offer the trade and eliminate Victalia at that point.
But not Casey doesn't know anything about these sonata pieces. We could wait. We could spend a lot of time in this dimension looking for it. When we've got pieces of the sonata, we could use as bait.
I can just tell you where it is. Because
Yeah,
you have the ring.
The ring is it indicating that it's nearby, or is it?
Yeah, the thing with the sonata is like it's performance, it's art. meant to be performed. And I think on the way here, you probably didn't notice it because you were like just full, you're in an alien city. But Solara described an amphitheater, an open theater. I think the ring was just tugging you there, but you were just very distracted. Like I'll tell you right now for this session, like getting the piece itself is not the problem. The problem is having to deal with the Galaxy Eater and with Victalia.
Well, then we get the extra piece, and then we use a piece of the Sonata as a bait to get either into the Galaxy Eater or into wherever it's controlled from. Then we destroy the Galaxy Eater, and we win. It's very straightforward from Freak's point of view.
All right, I support this plan.
On your way to grab the piece, you run into like that Zenovian that was being interrogated. You just run into them lurking around, clearly not where they're meant to be, in the corridors in this building. And then they see like all of you, and they just kind of raise their hands like, wait, what?
Hey, you are Zenovian. Like, what are you doing here?
I could ask the same thing. What are you doing here?
I'm here to fight the bad guy.
Oh, you're one of the self-righteous. You're one of the self-righteous ones. I see how it is. Okay, all right. Well, unlike you, I'm here to enjoy my long life by becoming very, very rich and running away.
Like, what are you running away from?
Oh, don't you know? See, I'm trying to remember what's their name. Their name, and they say like, oh, you haven't heard? Well, let me tell you, from one Zenovian to another, from Aranya Soul to what's your name?
I'm Kashdalix.
Oh, Kashdalix, wait a minute, aren't you one of the runaways as well?
I'm not a runaway. It was an accident in my in my space core engine that teleported me 50,000 light years from Zanov, but I'm slowly going back home. Slowly.
I don't know if you want to go back home anytime soon.
Like, why wouldn't I?
Oh, you haven't heard? Ominus is there.
Oh no! Like, what? Why? And why aren't you there, like, helping them fight the Ominus?
Look, I only heard about it through like Galaxy Communications. Okay, and, do you think I'd go back there knowing that Ominus is there?
Like, that's the right thing to do.
I don't even know why he's there. Like you know us. We've not done anything. Like I don't know why Zenovians would get his attention anyway. But I'm not gonna stick around to find out.
I might have an idea or two of why, but what's important is, I don't understand. Like, I think I do. Like, long life. I hope you will reconsider. But I have like a favor to ask. Do you have like a spare weapon console model XRB10, and then just like take out the manual for the ship, the one with triple laser gun attachment? I need one for my ship.
Well, all right. Well,
because if I am to go back and fight, I need my weapon console to be working. And I look pointedly at Michael, and someone smashed it.
Wait, why did you smash your own weapon console? That's not tactical.
He was going to shoot you with it.
Well, I could invite him to try.
I'll point out that this point that our gear is always in jeopardy when Michael is angry.
That's true in everything Michael's been in. But
Just as well, he's just guilty now.
I think Arania looks at the blueprints that you're showing, Solara,
Mhm.
and they sigh and they're like, "Well, if you're so gung ho about it." Then they turn to Sinia. It's like, "I might have a spare, but it's you've requisitioned it, so let's make a deal."
So,
Okay.
I'll tell you what you want. Be part of your smuggling crew or whatever bulwark. But I need the spare weapons console requisition to this one here.
I have one additional condition.
Oh, God.
The terms of your first assignment. Because of the chaos of the battle, I might not be able to give you this order later. So no matter what you want, you are to take these three back to their home dimensions.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Yes, it's back to home for me. Right. Just all right. Direct me to your ship. I'll make the repairs. Seems like you're off to do some sort of business or whatever.
Yeah. It was spaceport landing 57C.
All right. I know where my stuff is. Dread Queen, whatever. And they kind of saunter off. And Ash is kind of like, yeah, can I go back to the ship? I don't think you need me for this. I don't know anything beyond drumming. Okay?
Feel free, Ash. Like this is the amazing moment. You are the first humans to see another dimension. Maybe you should snap a few photos on your way to the ship.
I'm sure that cannot be true, says the guardian of interdimensional traveling that has seen quite a few humans coming back and forth.
Wow, so humans do have spacefaring technology, and they didn't tell us. Like,
Okay. All right. So I think this is simple enough. When you get to like the amphitheater, kind of like so you described this, Solara. I remember again. What's like? It's like a Greek amphitheater. Is what you were saying?
yeah, it's kind of like a amphitheater, but like very quite leveled. Maybe there's just like the ground level, like something where the scene was, and like couple of like the first row of the seats, and everything else is probably ruined. If this is a ruined city.
Yeah. Is it just the four of you? Okay. All right. I think in this amphitheater there are a bunch of like squatters, but they kind of they dart back as one of the one of the commanding officers of this group leads this frankly weird group of people, which is probably par for the course for her actually. And the ring tugs you, Paradox, to the stage. And I think
we make a beeline for the stage.
yeah. I think again, I'm not gonna make this complicated because I think it's fairly simple. I think it's probably the same process that you did back at the the big Leviathan head. It is just like it's you can feel kind of like, and you hear this as well, Freak, because you have pieces of this. You've heard other pieces of Sonata, and there's one in your head. You can kind of hear it connecting. It's coming from right from the stage itself. The thing with the sonatas, because it's a piece of music, it's not something that can be grabbed, but it is something that can be recorded.
So like, what now? Do we need to like have get some musicians to the scene? Like, it doesn't look like those squatters know how to perform. So
they make killer remix. Do you have anything from the 80s?
80s, like I don't know. But if we can ask them to play for us, maybe then we can find it.
I was gonna ask Freak if he could just play. You're muted now.
Oh, sorry.
Muted again.
Clicking too quickly. If I can sense it, can I go to the spot where it is, and kind of just tear up the flagstones under which it's buried? If that's what we're talking about.
You can try, but I think because another thing that we described after your internet had crashed is that the piece of Sonata didn't start resonating, the one in the Leviathan head, until you started doing your drum solos, and it synced up. So like they respond to other pieces of Sonata.
Okay, well,
being played.
Start drumming, Freak.
Exactly. So I think it's time to extrude a drum head and start hitting it with something I've forgotten all about. I'll extrude the sonic screwdriver into a drumstick and start beating out the rhythm that's in my head, and expect something to happen.
Okay. Since this is a piece of the sonata versus another piece of the sonata, that's a lot of like cosmic feedback. You're gonna take a powerful blow for me here. Don't worry, it's just a consequence. You'll still get the piece of the sonata. It's just that
Okay.
that's big consequence for it.
So I roll
conditions.
Conditions. Well, +1, but I have that. I'm not your body, so I treat it as 2 fewer than that. So I roll 2d -1.
No, that's when you take a powerful physical blow.
Oh, I see.
Cosmic.
Sorry. Okay. Then
which is different from physical.
Okay. Well, that becomes. So sorry. Hang on. I roll plus conditions, so my 7 becomes 8.
All right. So on 7 to 9, you can either lash out verbally. So provoke a teammate to forward the action or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition, or you get ground your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain, mark 2 conditions.
I'll mark 2 conditions, and they will be, gee whiz, angry and insecure. So I wasn't expecting that.
All right. I think it's a sensation you're. Oh, go on.
He's got anger marks. Keep him away from the ship.
I think you get a sensation that you only just remember now because when you were saved from in the invasion, you were attached to a device that was trying to strip you atom by atom and scatter you throughout space and time. You never felt that sensation because you were unconscious, except for the moment when you were woken up, just the machine turned off. And that's all of like infinity smashing into your head. And for a split second, you feel that again as you're extruding this piece of the sonata, which I guess Paradox you're recording as well.
Right. Yes, I'll use the recording device like before and add that to the library.
Nice. So the moment you do that, you hear familiar laughter, and you see those squatters just suddenly start keeling over, like on their knees, and then you see like some of them are clutching their throats, some of them are trying to grab their heads, and then you see like emerging out of their faces is like this bony white substance coming out of their faces as it slowly forms around them. And yeah, this keeps happening until like they're all kneeling, and then they kind of stand up and they kind of form like a banner guard, like as if directing you towards a place. And this definitely feels like Victalia's telling you like none of you are in control.
Freak is going to take foolhardy action without talking to your team and is going to walk up to these people and say, I have part of the Sonata. Take me to your leader.
All right, that sounds like you're trying to provoke.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
You can clear the condition, sure, but you're trying. It sounds like you're trying to provoke.
Okay. Roll plus superior, not my strong suit. And I get a 6.
Ooh, my potential. They all turn to you. All the heads, all the squatters, just turn right to you, and just start laughing. Just laughing. Yeah.
And this is how I clear insecure. Thank you.
Yes, by laughing, by a lot of folks laughing at you, and the one of the heads being like, oh, "You don't need to demand silly little Michael manners. We're making a path for you. Just follow these fine people, and we'll talk. All of you. Just go on down to the what's a good reference? Yellow Brick Road. There we go. That's a reference some of you will get, I guess. Just follow the path, and then we'll talk."
Did that also constitute facing danger alone?
No, because you're with your friends. Soz. All right, so the four of you, I guess the four of you are going to follow this path, or are you have more clever tricks? No, okay. I'm going, Solara.
Just to ask, and what if they decide to abandon this quest then?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What will happen if they abandon this quest and go back to their lives? What you gonna do?
They point up at the Galaxy Eater.
Come on, everything dies, including galaxies.
They point at it, and suddenly the cylinder starts twisting as it starts to pull itself out. And then you hear one of the squatters say, "Well, anyone can say that, but when, they're breathing. What about when you're about to die?" You and everyone else.
Around, everything here is about to die. And I try to create a distraction to them by rushing right in at them.
Oh wait, sorry. Say it again. Is that what are you trying to do?
So I want to give time to the other three. So I'm rushing them in a hopeless attack.
Shit. Oh my God. You're not even gonna meet with this guy. You want the three of them to get out of here. Okay. All right.
Because whatever is happening, it's their plan. So I'm going to throw at least a rock in his levers.
On these squatters. Okay. All right. This sounds like you're trying to defend the three of them.
And I get
mechanically, yeah.
8.
All right. So defend is with Savior. Savior is pretty good, yeah.
No, 8 is already with Savior.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you keep them safe and choose one. You add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I added team to the pool. Something tells me they're gonna need it.
Yeah, but on something that it costs you. Expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
You pick, right?
Oh, do I? Oh.
I mean...
No. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it doesn't say I pick. It just says it costs you. So I think you pick.
Okay. Escalate the situation is what makes more sense, even if her objective was to put herself in danger.
Okay. All right. So the three of you watch as Bulwark, Sania Beta 77, charges at this group of squatters. with their laser blast and whatnot, but they just swarm her. They swarm and grab her, but as we've determined in the previous session, Victalia is very easily distracted if he has someone very interesting he's looking at. So they kind of grab her as a group of the swatters kind of like put their heads together, and the mask combines into like a big like mask in his face, and he's looking at you, Sania, and it's like, wow, you say a lot of brave words about dying, my dear. And you and your entire pestilential dimension might be on its last legs, but no. Dying's too good for you. No, I think I'll take you with me. And well, I don't know if there's anything interesting about a clone, but it'd be interesting as a pet or a toy or even a gift. I'm sure the Dread Queen would love a failure like you who let her dimension die.
Enough of this. Leave my friend alone.
Oh my god. Okay.
Frighten, intimidate, or co.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you are gonna get into a fight. So it seems like it.
I'm going to scare the willies out of him if I can, and then I'm going to hit him really, really very hard.
All right. Sounds like you're entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. So I'm going to add 2 to the team pool. Okay. That's what's happening. Sania gives you a chance to get out. And Freak here, being all, no. So.
I'm sorry. Right. He feels guilty. He's trying to absolve his guilt.
Damn mechanics. Who's the leader?
Probably the one provoking the fight.
Fair enough. All right.
Sadly, I think that may be true.
Jesus Christ. If the leader has influence over every teammate, add another to the team. Not on Sania.
So close.
See, this is what happens when someone drops and a new person comes in. You don't have all the influence. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. Does everyone have the same purpose in the fight?
What is even the purpose of the fight?
Yeah. I have no purpose in this fight yet. It's like standing just next to the paradox, and like, I thought we were supposed to like lure him somewhere and don't like start fight over here.
Well, it seems like Victalia has come here. Isn't that what that means?
We need to get there. Like, this is like, yeah. Probably this is like confusing to all of us.
Yeah.
I want to kind of engage with this connection to Victalia.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the plan seems to be breaking down. So yeah, no one has the same purpose in this fight. Any team member mistrusts the leader. I'm gonna assume. So there are some people who mistrust people who just randomly beat up your weapons console.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Already go. So you lose a team.
Like I really respect his opinion, and he tells me a lot about earth things, but he smashed my weapon console. Like, why?
Okay, yeah. So team ill-prepared or off-balance? I think you were prepared to deal with Victalia in some way. Probably not in this way. But yeah, I wouldn't say you're too off-balance. I think the two, Paradox and Solara, being like, wait, what's happening here? It's less off-balance and more like, okay, well, things are breaking down, I guess. All right. So as the Galaxy Eater is kind of being pulled out slowly, and you can probably tell what's going to happen is it's going to leave a hole that's going to just suck out the entire dimension. Freak, you're standing up for your friend. What kind of your friend?
Always.
And you're back in your big spiky form.
I am in my big spiky form. So we'll start with be the monster. Roll plus freak. 9.
9.
No, 9. Yeah, 9. So on 7 to 9, choose. On a hit, they are thrown off or make themselves vulnerable to me. Yeah. Or they flee. On 7 to 9, I then choose 2. I frighten others I have not intended to scare. I hurt someone or break something I shouldn't have. I feel more like a monster afterwards. Market conditions, your choice. I think I have to go with. I don't know if I frighten the rest of the team, but I think I surprise them the shit out of them.
Yeah. Didn't expect this.
And I think I probably feel more like a monster afterwards.
Yeah, I think when you burst out into your form, the big Victalia face that's formed out of these squatters, yeah, you get their attention and they're kind of taken back. But they try to kind of leave a parting shot. It's like, oh, that's a familiar face. As if, and I think you're gonna. I think hopeless. Mark that. But they are thrown off and make themselves vulnerable. So I think what kind of happens is your big freakish form actually like breaks through whatever control he has over these squatters, and some of them do freak out when you make your big freak form, and specifically the ones holding Sania, and they let go. Solara, what are you up to? Seeing all this.
I think like Solara is just like confused. They are fighting. It's not going according to plan. But if she can like somehow get Vectalia to either appear here or or just like leave these people be gone, it will like end quickly. So she's just like looking at what is he using to control these people? Like, is he here? Is he not here? Yeah, I think I'm assessing the situation.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely do that.
6 + 2, it's 8. Yeah, ask one perfectly. How could we best end this quickly? Just like brawl with the squatters.
Okay. Well,
mind-controlled squatters.
Yeah. Well, you have telepathy and mind blast.
Yeah.
I think you've done this before. In a previous session, you managed to clear away his psychic hooks with just one big, beautiful blast of, matching him pace by pace. And I think you can, if you like, just using your mild telepathy, you can see those hooks. They're just instead of hooks, they're more like tendrils, psychic tendrils that have implanted themselves in the back of these squatters' heads. And you can see the wires kind of like, he's fairly close. This ruined throne room is actually really close. Like it's literally just over the theater, close. So the best way to end this quickly is, well, that depends on what you want to end. Do you want to end this fight to get out of there, or do you want to end the Galaxy Eater threat? In which case, I'll give you both answers anyway. In this fight, you can clear the psychic hooks. He doesn't have control over the squatter, so he'll have to come to you. Or you can clear the psychic hooks and come to him, because he is just literally over the wall.
Well, I suppose I would just like see this hooks, probably like a thin line going in one direction, like just like a fish line, and then we just like start to levitate and just like start like being like gathering the power and just like shout to the others. He's just behind the theater over there. Like move all of them, like, and it's like let's go face him over there.
Nice. So Paradox, you're seeing all this. I think Sania,
Yes.
you're free. Oh, go on, Paradox.
I in It looks like we might be facing Vectalia sooner than anticipated, and I'm still a little bit leery of giving over the piece of the Sonata. So what Paradox is going to try to do is make a copy of this MP3 that he had got and tweak it in some way, so it's not actually an effective version of it. So I'm assuming that's going to be Unleash Your Powers.
Yep.
All right. So he's trying to make an adulterated copy of the Sonata here.
All right.
He doesn't have a great chance of doing this, but seems like the sort of thing he would try. Nine minus 1 is 8.
Okay. So on the 79, you can mark a condition, or the effect is unstable or temporary.
I'll take. I'm cool now on the conditions. So I'll go ahead and mark one. So I'm feeling hopeless. No, insecure. We'll go with insecure.
How could you be insecure? You're making a copy of the Sonata, a piece.
Well, perhaps Paradox 3 is thinking that maybe they'll recognize it as not being legit copy or legitimate version of it. So yeah, I think that fits.
Yeah. So I think yeah. So you do it. You have another like MP3 player. You got it. Sania, Bulwark. You just heard Solara. You just saw Solara levitate. Freak saved your behind. The big Victalia face is looking at Freak because he's easily distracted. Solara has just levitated and shouted that Victalia is just over there. What do you do?
I shout at Freak, "Are you just as impulsive in your home world?" And then I blast Vectalia with my energy blasts.
Ooh, blast the big face. All right, that sounds like you're directly engaging. All right.
Shit. I get a 2.
Wow. Mark potential. Then we'll see if we ever see Sania again, or this Sania in the future. Probably not. We'll see. It might as well mark potential. So you blast at the Victalia face. I think you're still gonna kind of hit it because it's vulnerable thanks to Freak. So you kind of smash into the big face, and this energy blast kind of like cracks through. And I think what's gonna happen? I think this will be fairly simple. I think you blast through because again he's vulnerable, he's protected, but like I think you do get a bit of psychic feedback, like some backlash. I think he's kind of prepared for this. If you hit this mast, you suddenly just like feel this like big like blow. So roll, take a powerful blow, kind of like to your head. God, you don't have any conditions.
So I got the 2.
Well, there we go. Okay, on a miss, mark potential, and you stand strong. So I'm just guessing, like Sania is just a hard ass who's living a horrible life. A bit of psychic feedback's not going to get to her.
I'm the clone of someone that mind controls people before breakfast.
I think as kind of the squatters kind of controlled by him kind of retreat back to his position, he has this like he has a snide parting shot. Still just a clone. As they're kind of retreating back to his position. Freak, how are you?
If I've seen where Solara is pointing, then I'm off at the run.
Shit. Is everyone else following Freak? Yeah. I assume like this is like, in the comic book panel, it is just like probably half the page. Solara's flying, Freak's at the front, and Paradox and Sania just barely trying to catch up because Paradox has all this stuff on him. And I think when you get there, it's a bunch of the squatters, and it's an open room. It's an open room, a throne room. That's like the roof has caved in. It's just ruins. The console's there, and there's just a throne. Freak, you don't see the spiky soldier. It's not there. So what you see is the squatters kind of cowering and kneeling in front of the throne room, where Victalia's just sitting with like his legs over the armrest and his back on the other armrest, and he's kind of like, "Oh, I do love a little bit of youthful defiance." Looks at the four of you. It's kind of futile, don't you think?
Oh, I'm sick of the monologue. I leap at him, concentrating as many nanites into a large fist as I can, and I hit him as hard as I can. I'm just sick of this idiot's monologues.
Yeah, yeah, okay, fair enough. Directly engage. I think you caught him mid-monologue. That's fine.
Okay, so that's plus danger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, which is +2.
I know you probably think you're engaging in a terrifying fashion. Like, he's not terrified of you.
Well, then he can eat this 10 for breakfast then.
Jesus. Okay.
On a 10, trade blows. On a 10, pick 2. I want to. Is it obvious what he's using to control the galaxy eater from here?
Yeah, it is just the two consoles. It's like a big bank. It's like, like 40s style. You find a computer room in a Nazi base. It's a big like dials and whatnot.
Then I'd like to create an opportunity for my allies to do the right thing with that console, because I don't know what you do. So that's my first one. And I want to avoid any blows he trades with me.
All right.
I'll be using the the capacity to resist danger, impenetrable armor.
Okay. So I think you describe again what your attack looks like.
Okay, so I leap across the room, and though I can't, the way this works is that I increase the density of my fist by concentrating nanites into it, by drawing them from other bits of the body. So this pile driver punch comes straight up under this skull, and it lifts him out of the throne across the room, leaving him a long way from these consoles, before he has a chance to actually lay a finger on me.
Oh, wow. So yeah, I think you caught him mid-monologue, and you send him flying, and he kind of like lands in a pathetic flop, and he's just like, so much for wanting to know how you end up causing the end of the world, Michael. And as he kind of stand up, his hair is all a mess, and it's just like, so don't you even want to know? Don't you want to know how you're going to ruin everything?
No, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of villains monologuing about my fate. I'm going after him. And do I count as having hurt somebody?
Let me. I guess you've
Then I'll
heard.
clear out as well. Now It's just cold fury.
All right, let's jump into it. Solara, Freak has this guy occupied. And the two consoles are kind of there. At least the three of you have a chance, like, just go over to the console.
I'd like to try to assess the situation, if that could help, if I could.
Okay. Go ahead.
5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. Ask one question.
what here can I use to plug that big hole? Pointing to the Galaxy Eater.
You can use the Sonata.
All right. Well,
You have two.
I get +1. I get +1 forward when using that. So I'm not sure how we would attempt to maybe connecting the MP3 player to the control station here, the module here, or something. I'm not sure. Somehow integrating it with that and seeing if we can shut that down.
All right. You have your futuristic gadgetry. Yeah, that's. I think I'll count as that. All right. That's unleashing your powers, I think. Yeah. Remind me, I need to make a custom move for actually using the Sonata. That'll come up next session, definitely. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's unleashing your powers. And if this messes up, any one of you can help.
Yeah, we may need it. Ooh, that is bad. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah,
that's going to be freak. So that actually comes down to a 2. So I don't think we can even do it.
What about team?
You don't have
That's
enough
the
team.
thing. We need to get it up to a 7. So well, actually, it goes up to actually a 3 because I get +1 from assess the situation.
The thing is, it only goes up to a 6 then, if you use all the team. Okay, yeah, you have team of 3. It's on the you have 3 team. Ludo, it's on. Okay, so
I plug the Sonata in, start typing on the things and messing with my little gadgets and such, and what horrible thing happens?
Horrible thing happens. What horrible thing happens? What a question. What a question. Okay, I think this is only going to affect you. Don't worry. You're trying to mess with part of a key that reshapes reality, and sometimes that key kind of like detects kind of like, yeah, I think I do like that. There's a meme going around in PBTA where, like, in a -6, the galaxy brain is you get what you want and it's really bad. So you want to close up this hole, right? I mean, that's the thing. This is a Sonata. Of course, I can fucking do that. It's easy enough. Like, come on. But I'm trying to think. Okay, hold on. I want to check something. All right. Okay. So you connect the Sonata and you direct it to close the hole. And yeah, I think it very much does. You see the breaks around the Galaxy Eater start to like form up until it just slices through the Galaxy Eater and it comes toppling down, hopefully not on some civilians, comes toppling down to the ground. This big explosion, and everything's great. Victalia sees that, and yeah, you think he'd be like shocked or whatever, but it looks like he's in awe at seeing the Sonata at work, and he's just like, "Oh my god, oh my god." And Paradox 3. The Sonata shows you something. Shows you the corruptor of your little tapestry. I think we talked about, Calbalion's the one who let people know about the Sonata. Freak dies to some mysterious force. Solara is the leader outside the singularity, trying to free humanity. No, the Sonata is closing the hole. That's how it cut through the Galaxy Eater, because it closed up the hole. Don't worry, the hole is fine. The hole is grand. And Victalia is the monster that kind of showed people how the Sonata can be used. Someone had to bring that piece of the Sonata there. And you see this person, I think the one who brought the Sonata to this regime and let them, give them the chance to create your future. She doesn't have pink hair anymore, and she's maybe 5 or 6 years older, but you recognize her. She's been in your ship, Solara's ship, for a while.
Oh God, that's horrible. Well, we now we know what we need to do. Who needs to be stopped? As a note, I marked potential for failing that roll, and that put me up to 5.
Yeah, advancement.
So I'm going to take my what is it? The moment of truth. I'm going to unlock my moment of truth.
All right, I'm just gonna put down that it's unlocked on the. There we go. That just makes things easier. Yeah. So, Solara, you see, the Galaxy Eater just crashed down. Victalia's over there, and he's been trying to grab the squatters to form a wall between him and Freak, but he sees the Sonata at work, and you all kind of hear it. This musical form as the hole in the dimension is sealed shut, and Victoria's just I've always wanted to see it in action. You did it. You idiots actually did it. Oh my God. There it is. Can you do it again?
If no one else is going to shut him up, because I filled the Doom track when I triggered the vision, I've marked bolstered. Mark your Doom track to use an adult move 1 time. So I want to use the Doom track, and I want to trigger. Where's it gone? Overwhelm a vulnerable foe. I want Victalia put down.
Before you can do that, I think I think he's gonna say something as he kind of it's wait, please don't understand. Look, look. Yeah,
but don't get me wrong. I'll take the concede. I'll threaten you with this fist, and you will spill your guts.
I'm willing to spill my guts. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. Look, I'll tell you. Do you know what? Look, all I really want is to see the Sonata in action. Do you know how long I've been looking for something interesting to happen to this galaxy? As far as I'm concerned, the Sonata is the most interesting thing in this galaxy. I don't care who uses it or whatnot. I just want to see it used, and I saw it, and it was beautiful. I just want to see it used again. I don't care if it's Ominus doing it or if it's you lot doing it to him. And I'll tell you, it's useful to have someone like me, someone you can move around inside Ominus's corridors. And he looks at you, Solara, especially where he is right now.
I wonder. Am I aware that Paradox copied the Sonata?
No. But what Victalia is saying is basically like he doesn't really want the piece. He just wants it used, and he's like willing to work for y'all if you just use it again. He's that far gone in terms of ridiculousness. So what he's saying is that he's willing to work for y'all if you just use the Sonata at Ominus.
So Solara, Ominus is, am I understanding this right? Ominus is on your world and is threatening your homeland, your home?
Yeah, if there's truth, yes, it's exactly what this I forgot his name. The other Zanovian here, he said that I think he's sieging my planet, and I feel really bad because I probably like made him go there. But yeah, that's where we can find him.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. Ominous is Victoria's still talking. Ominous is already there. This entire dimension was meant to be fuel for his war machine. You don't know what Ominous does to planets he doesn't like. So he's got his own planet. It's called Wreck. It's big and bloated. It's the size of a couple of suns. You know how it gets big? It sucks up other planets. Zanov is next on his list.
Well, I guess you guys have your next objective. And Bulwark turns to them. You know what happens when you suck up enough matter? You get super dense. And then things get interesting.
I don't like your use of the word suck up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Victalia, he's just hands raised, like, I'm willing to work for y'all. Just use the Sonata again. That was so cool. That's all I want. Are you gonna like?
Yeah, no worries. We'll probably use it once we go toe to toe with Ominus.
Cool. All right. Well, you can count on me. And he gently like takes his hand, freak's hand off him. Well, you can count on me as an ally then, so long as you promise to use it. As soon as you promise to use it, it's really cool.
Yeah, of course we will use it. If you can, like, go there and delay his and delay him until we can get there, because we still need to get out of this dimension. We will definitely use it. So we have a deal.
Oh, more than a deal. Your wish is my command. And he bows really low, like forehead touching the ground.
Hey, Vectala, you know what a sonata implies? A composer.
Oh, don't play with my feelings like that. Don't play with my feelings.
Oh, yes. Perhaps once this is over, you can go after the composer who created this beautiful that makes your universe so interesting.
Don't play with my feelings like that. I'm already so goddamn excited. All right, I'll see you all at Zanov then.
So hang on, I'd look back at Solara and say, we're letting this thing go?
Yeah, we need him to stall for time. We need to like get out of this dimension and then get to Zanov. Like, if he can stall Ominus for 24 hours, we can probably get there in time to save my planet.
Why can't we go with him then?
You might want to look after that piece. I know you have like one more piece at your ship. You might want to look after her first. Besides, my way is a one way anyway. I can't take anyone.
Paradox will interrupt at that point and go, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to keep an eye on her."
He looks a bit confused at that. He's like, "Okay, all right, you have your secrets, time traveler." I was like, "Well, see your chums in Zanov with your Sonata," and he twists something in his wrist, and he kind of like ports out. All right, I think we'll have one because we're close to time. There's not going to be a big hurdle to get back to your dimensional planet. Your Xanov friend, your Xanovian friend has a way because they're an interdimensional smuggler. I think we'll have one last scene, like as you kind of get on your ship with Sania, seeing you. I don't think you're coming along. Yep.
I go up to Bulwark and I say, Casey would have been proud of you.
Again, who the hell is Casey?
So Bulwark, it was a pleasure to meet you, but we never get to the part like, why is your planet so much destroyed? Is it because of this like was it because of Vectalia, or do you just guys have some internal conflicts?
Yes, we just had a lot of superheroes and not enough heroes.
And what happened to all of those superheroes?
They killed each other.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So this is what happens when you have superheroes with poor impulse control.
Yes, don't you know anything about that?
Oh, that's horrible. I really hope that you managed to get this place fixed, and maybe we can come and visit after we deal with the problem in our dimension.
Well, I'll be trying to use whatever power I have on my government to buy you time on this end. Because if they really want to use this dimension as full, maybe we can do, let's say, poison their gift.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like, again, Bulwark, it was a pleasure meeting you. I'm really sorry for this like rough opening, but things happen, and I was like, Michael told me like if you do this and you tell to everyone like live long and prosper, everyone will like welcome you. And apparently it doesn't work. Like, Michael, like, why doesn't it work? It's like you told me it's from Starbucks, some Star Trek Star. I don't know what. I will work on this.
See, the thing is that only Star Wars fans survived the war.
I think I should watch more of those Earth stuff to understand the context. I think I'm missing something.
Does Paradox have any last words that can top this ridiculous conversation?
Well, we've now Bulwark. We've spared your world from your dimension from becoming fuel. I hope that you can do something positive with it.
Well, we can leave it. See you later or not. I still need to figure out who this Casey.
All right. So I think the three of you board, and the Zenovian Oren Sol is there. He's actually kind of like tinkering with the cube, and he's just like, "Oh, you didn't tell me you were friends with Kybalion. Like, just told me that. Jesus." No, they don't say Jesus because why would they say that? It's like, no, don't worry, just a couple more tweaks to this, and we'll be out of here soon.
No, we barely knew the guy. He just told us that we need to stop Ominus, and so we are doing this. We don't really know the guy. Like, do you know this Kybalion fellow?
What I know about Kybalion is that they don't give trust easily, and if they trusted you with what they do, then they must believe in you a lot.
Oh, yeah. Good to know. Good to know. Thanks. It's really nice to meet another Zenovian here, and hey, we are going to save our planet. Aren't you happy?
You know, in spite of what I said, you know, and I don't like being the idea that we'd be the last of our kind. So yeah, let's go. And yeah, so he he tweaks the cube, and Space Cruiser trying lifts off. The space continuum folder folds through the dimensions, and you go through the whole strobe lighting thing again. Yeah, no, I'll get to that. I want like some last scenes with everyone. I like last shots. But as kind of like the strobe lighting comes in, the three bandmates are back there. Like, what? Where did Freak go? We're just about to tell him he's the best, and and I think Ash, who's been waiting at the ship, she's just like, oh hey, Joseph's back. I don't know what happened there. Hold on, I need to tell him everything that happened. I think I want to end with Sania because we're not going to see her again for a while. So, what's the last shot we see of Freak for this session?
I think Freak is feeling isolated, and he's given up on Michael, and so he's not even trying to maintain Michael. He's just going to plug into the mains and just space out.
Well, that kind of answer. You're gonna get an email later asking if you want to bring Freak over to next month's series, but that might not happen. Solara, what's the last shot we see of you?
I'm not really sure.
We don't have one in mind, but go on.
I think we might see her like tweaking her new weapon console. I don't have anything more than this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think your Zenobian friend kind of like just awkwardly says, I haven't been in Xano for like 150 years. Anything's changed?
I spent the last 5 years on Earth, and before that, everything was fine, and everyone separated, living in their little, using the VR sets to connect to everyone else. I kind of like it how the Earthlings do it. They just go and talk to each other and meet for a coffee, and not just the holograms everywhere.
Yeah. Why do you think I left? I got boring really quickly. Like interdimensional space travel. There we go. I'd recommend that to anyone.
Yeah, I think it's interesting arriving in such interesting dimensions to see what having too many superheroes can do. Yeah, it's educating, definitely.
Hey, look, if you thought that dimension was interesting, let me tell you about the Nightmare Frontier. And I think the conversation kind of fades there, and so I have a proposition for you. Yeah. Paradox 3. What's our last shot of you?
I think he boards the craft, and we're getting ready for preparing for takeoff, and Ash comes out and sort of asks for maybe some, oh, what happened? Is everything okay? And I just sort of stand there silently glaring at her, and Paradox looks a little uncertain as to what to say or do, but her presence is certainly making him very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think Ash kind of like he's just staring and just like kind of like tries to avoid your stare, just talks to everyone else. Yeah. Finally, Sania Beta 77. What's the last we see of you as these adventurers go off to save their dimension?
So we see her standing in front of a gate, and she's talking to someone, and she's finished describing the last step about the event, about the activation, about the Sonata. And as she says that, she bows and says, I humbly advise that it's time to activate the Project Arc. And from the other side, we see leaning on her throne, the Dread Queen.
Yeah, that's something for Casey to worry about in the future, maybe. Oh man. All right, so let's do end of session stuff. And then we're gonna do quick starts and wishes because we're gonna run late. I notice. If people let's do end of session very quickly, and then on the broadcast, if people need to go, people need to go. But yeah, end of session stuff. So did people did either you grow closer to the team, grow into your own image of yourself, or grow away from the team? Start you. Let's go over character keeper order. Solara, how do you feel?
Thinking. I think that Solara kind of has faced one of her first lessons that actions are not without consequences, and that her being here and her taunting the Ominus and Vectalia has led to Zanov being sieged right now and in danger. So yeah, I think she's learning the hard way of life. So that's what she learned. Explain how you see yourself and why. She's one label up and one label down. I think she really wants to take a revenge on him. So I'm going to boost one into danger and remove one from freak. Why not?
Okay. Yeah. Paradox 3. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling that I'm growing closer to the team. I think that Michael/Freak made me feel very welcome. We had a poignant moment where we were in the embrace sort of early on in the session that made him feel a part of the team, a necessary part of the team. And let's see, so I give influence to that character. He's already got influence. And then clear a condition or mark potential. I will clear insecure. And then I think giving him influence means if he already has it, that he's going to shift a label. Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this is a man with a mission, and I think it's a savior complex. I'm going to leave savior where it is, but I think the degree of his superiority is probably not quite as marked as it was. So I'm going to put superior down from 3 to 2. And I think that he knows he's going to have to get his hands dirty. So I'm going to move danger up from -1 to 0.
All right, got it.
Yeah, sure, why not, Sunio? Let's see this. Here's the thing. You might bring this back, or I don't know, she might show up as an antagonist in the future, who knows? But yeah, go on. Which one of these 3?
I guess it's very weird, but I'm gonna get closer to the team because Michael did not stop talking about Casey, and I guess giving him influence over Bulwark 77, then let's him try to manipulate her closer to his image of Casey, which might be interesting. So I'm giving him influence.
Yeah, well, I've added that. That doesn't, because I don't already have influence over her. I don't get to shift a label, do I? Damn.
Yeah. So I guess you mark potential then, or shift your labels.
Potential.
Yeah. I'll say right now, if this Senia shows up again, as an NPC, that influence will carry over. Probably. That's for the future. If that ever happens. And finally, Freak. No longer Michael Manners.
No, I think that the disappointment of KC being not KC severs what's left of that thread to his kind of ordinary self. So I don't think we'll see Michael again. So I think, another villain monologued my disastrous future. So I continue to grow into my image myself. And I'm going to crash and burn mundane to -3. And of course, I am going to freak up 2 to 3.
Actually, you can't go lower than -2.
No. Okay, so I'm as unmundane as I can be. Then
I mean, you could, but that have to inflict a condition on you.
no. Okay. Then I don't think he feels good about himself, so I'm going to move superior down to -1.
All right. Poor Freak. All right, that's it for this session of Masks Apocalypse Sonata. Thanks everyone for playing. You all are fantastic as always. Everyone watching this, made it this far. Thanks for watching. I'm going to stop the broadcast now. Goodbye.